Teenager Matlhomola Mosweu will continue her testimony in aggravation of sentence this morning. The Northwest High Court sitting in Mahikeng adjourned sentence proceedings yesterday after Agnes Mosweu became emotional and unable to continue with her testimony. She's the last of the three state witnesses to testify in aggravation of sentence in the trial of two Coligny men found guilty of the murder of her 16-year-old son. Last year, Pieter Doorewaard and Phillip Schutte were found guilty for killing Mosweu for allegedly stealing sunflowers in April 2017. They were also found guilty of kidnapping, intimidation, theft and pointing a firearm. Okay, let's get more on this story now and cross live to our reporter Lucas Mothibedi, who is at the Northwest High Court. Lucas, thank you as always for your time. So just remind us about yesterday's emotional scenes at court involving Matlhomola's mother, Agnes.
Thank you, Stephen. Again, good morning to the listeners, the viewers. In fact, yesterday we've seen the mother of the deceased, who's the last, or the third and the last witness for the state in aggravation of sentencing, being overwhelmed, and the court had to decide on whether to continue or to stop. And they decided that it would be on the benefit of both the court and the said witness to roll over the case to today. As is, the state has called in at least three more witnesses, which the mother was the last one in aggravation of sentencing. But we're expecting that the defense team will begin with the heads of argument in mitigation of sentencing today. They insisted that today they will be calling at least three more witnesses in heads of argument for mitigation of sentencing. So we are expecting the case to continue today. But as is, we have seen more and more people, political parties coming here. Earlier on, the CEO of AfriForum also indicated that they will be assisting the families of the two convicts to appeal both the conviction and the sentencing today. But we also, as you know, that before this ANC, in fact, earlier when these men were applying for bail, the ANC and the court decided to grant the two men. The ANC came out to say they will be supporting the family in appealing the granting of bail of the two convicts. So, as is, it's going to be a very, very difficult, very interesting to see how it will pan out after the sentencing, whether the people will be coming in, outside forces will be coming in to assist both the family of the victim and the family of these convicts.
Lucas, just give us the temperature of views both inside and outside court with regards to this case.
Stephen, the security has been intensified since yesterday after some verbal altercations between some members of the community, black community and white community from Coligny. So the security has been intensified. We've seen more and more people coming in. Some were wearing EFF regalia. In fact, behind me inside, the court is full to capacity with members of the community from Coligny and local here who are eagerly awaiting to know the fate of these two men. So the situation here outside, it's a bit calm today because more and more police officials are visible. But inside, we've seen some of the officials also sitting there on the hearings and are meaning any actualities or any eventualities inside. So as is, we are about to go in a short while, and we understand that we are expecting that the case will be starting just after 10 o'clock this morning.
In terms of some of the testimony in aggravation of sentence that you've heard so far, what stands out for you?
Well, the two first witnesses was the pastor from local church in Coligny, and the other one was a teacher from the same school where this said victim was schooling. The testimony was centered around how this case or the ruling will trigger some protest in Coligny. Both of them were insisting that the court should be imposing a harsher sentence to set a precedence, because they are saying that as is, the area remains polarized. They're saying that this has furthered divisions in the area. But on the other side, we are yet to hear the testimony of the mother of the deceased. In fact, yesterday, just before she broke down, her testimony was centered, her testimony was centered more around how the death of this child has affected them as a family. But also, interestingly, the prosecutor, the advocate Molefe, was pressing on her discovery there of on how she felt discovering that her child was killed over a head of a sunflower worth 80 rand. So she broke down in saying that a life of a black child is cheap, or it appears to be cheap, and she's very, very distraught by this incident.
Yeah, no doubt emotional scenes coming out of this sentencing procedure. Lucas Mothibedi, live for us in the Northwest High Court. Thank you very much indeed, sir, for your time. Yes?